Why are people always surprised when I say I'm fine being single forever? I'm 30. Single. Never been married. I've had 4 long-term, serious relationships in my life, and honestly, I'm just done. I just don't have the energy, will, or desire to seek out a partner and maintain a relationship. The thought of fitting another person into my life sounds exhausting. I like the way my nights and weekends are set up now. So dating seems like a hassle. And I don't think there is a man in the world that could make me give up Saturday night DD lol. Before anyone asks, I'm not ace. And I am attracted to men. But sex has always just been a chore. I would rather just dive into my Kindle and read a spicy romance. All of the men I've been with have killed my sex drive. Would I like someone to cuddle with and sleep next to? Absolutely. Someone to do laundry and taxes with? Yes. But probably not gonna happen as a straight woman lol. I got my tubes removed last year too. Because I've never wanted kids and I wanted to stop taking birth control. Despite all that, I'm fine with this. I have a great group of friends that I spend my free time with. A dog that will give endless cuddles. And a Kindle that will never run out of romantic options. Yet everyone always goes, oh, you'll find someone or love will surprise you when you least expect it. And I'm just really doubting that lol. My biggest worry honestly is living on a single income in this economy. But I can always find a roommate, I'm sure. Anyone else content with just being single and living their own life? How are you handling things? I feel like these people that are surprised by this can't relate and maybe even never considered that this was a possibility. I've been mostly in relationships until my early 40s. I'm now in my mid-60s and I have to say I am far happier single than I was when I still had men in my life. Also 30F and child-free. And same. Would I like to have a partner to just chill with and cuddle? Yeah. But the thought of rearranging my life, my habits, expectations for a maybe is just so tiresome. And then if it doesn't work out and I have to rearrange my whole life again. I already have enough stuff to deal with without adding another person to it. I'm 41 and single by choice and I still be prepared for people to never let it go. We're supposed to want a spouse and kids and all that, and people just can't wrap their heads around women who are perfectly happy without either of those things and who don't want those things. I go to work, socialize but also enjoy my solitude, and travel solo a lot. I'm 30 and this is my last relationship with a man. If this one leaves for whatever reason, I honestly want to stay alone. I honestly think the dream of marriage and children is the biggest lie ever sold to women. But that's not what nature intended, they sputter, while sitting in a poly-blend non-flammable recliner in their climate-controlled concrete condominium. Between sips of the grande mocha caramel frappuccino that they bought whilst driving their all-wheel drive automobile that runs on the refined remains of long-deceased organisms. I do think I remember reading that women who were alone were much happier statistically than men who were alone or even any other status. I'm 41. It took me 10 more years than you to come to the same point. I'm a bit melancholy about it. But at the same time, I feel it's the first time I've ever looked at my life as mine to invest in. 61. Been single since divorce 20 years ago. No going back to being a doormat. I'm with you, chick. Life has never been better. They think life revolves around males and that we're lying. The same people will say that your low stress level is due to being single, not with a man. Mid-30 single and I'm at my happiest. I have fulfilling friendship and spend lots of time with family. I get to travel a lot and buy whatever I want, etc. Most of my friends are also mid-30, 40 single ladies, living our best lives. I laugh in people's face when they ask me if I wouldn't prefer to settle down, get married and have kids. Lol, why? So I can give up my Sunday bottomless brunch to watch crying toddler. The happiest demographic are child-free single women. I think it's great, and I have several friends who feel the same way. I think the only reason people will be surprised is because you're so young. Anyone saying anything definitive at 30, whether it's about relationships specifically or the future generally, I guess will be met with some healthy level of skepticism. I'm in a genuinely happy 11-year-long relationship. But we always talk about what if this or that happened. Like what would we do if we ever split up? My husband was honestly shocked when I was dead-ass serious about not dating again. Not because I don't think I could find happiness, but because the amount of effort it takes to get to know someone so intimately is just not worth it. Again, to me, lol. It's so much work. Are you me? I could have written exactly this. I only wish we had better terminology or ways to communicate this outlook on life. I hate having to explain to people it's by choice and reassure them that I am happier this way. No one seems to believe it, lol. It's because one of the greatest things you can do is learn to be alone and love yourself unconditionally. It's crazy, but that's not super common amongst people. It's that you don't need to have the other person around to make yourself feel secure, but want to have them around. Either they're the type of people who can't handle being single for any real length of time, the type that never questioned the status quo in the first place, or they're just regurgitating the first truism that popped into their head. This is classic case of social non-conformity psychology. If rest of your social members eat beef and when they offer you the same only to hear you say no, thanks, I have decided to be vegan for life. It creates deep cognitive dissonance about their own belief system. This is very standard expected reaction. In fact, I would be surprised if they didn't get surprised. But all you need is to hold your ground for a while. I hear you. Single freedom, not loneliness. Not saying relationships are necessarily restricting. But when you're single, all the decisions are yours. Probably because a lot of people see marriage partnership as a way to find companionship. And some find it hard to understand the idea of being alone their entire life. Not saying you are alone. But people sometimes have images in their mind of these recluses who come out of their house once a year. Not people with a great life and friends who just chooses not to have a partner. I think having a partner is so ingrained in life that it can catch people by surprise when somebody doesn't have one. Because it's an ingrained, old and very misogynistic belief that a woman is only worthy as a man's appendage. In more recent times, this belief has solidified as a woman cannot be alone, and now people are even surprised if you are lesbian but don't want a relationship. That's also the reason why conservative people think you're gonna be single forever is a valid insult. Lol. It's not. You do you. I'm single. 40. And last year I purchased my first home. A nice flat. It took me a while but I got there. I did not have a partner in over a decade now. I have had sexual partners. Just not been in a relationship. Do I regret it? No. Do I plan to date? No. I'm looking forward to another decade enjoying my time and hobbies. Some people hate their own company, so the thought of being alone terrifies them.